We
What
are
up, Mike?
over
Wherever
our
you
drink.
at, bro?
You know, we did it again. We sat down without cups.
We do that every. Listen, why do we do that? We sit here and it's called over a drink. We bring in the alcohol. We get ready, and then we sit right here and don't have no cups.
The pregame be messing with the.
Hey, won't somebody out there remind us when we come in this joint? Y'all know when we lock in there, like send something to us and be like, "Yo, don't forget the cups, idiots."
All right, I said this time I was gonna just get the Glockor link and drop it.
All right, so how you been? Listen, we was off for a week. We was down.
Cause
We
man,
was a little down for a week.
Cause last week I went to what was a doctor appointment. You know, a follow up for my eye. Like I told everybody I had surgery on my eye, and I'm in there, and she's like, "Yeah, still looks a little high, so I'm gonna, And I was like, "No." She's like, "I'm just gonna relax the stitch, loosen the stitch, and then sew it back up, and it'll be all better, and I think it'll be more even." And she's like, "How do you feel about that?" And I was like, "Well, you the expert. Shit. I just don't want to feel or look like Forrest Whitaker." that was the whole thing.
That's the
I was
whole premise of this
That's
thing.
the
Here.
whole thing I was
like,
going through. I'm looking at pictures like, who is
I hate like
Sloth
Idi
from the
Amin out
Goonies
this joint.
I just don't want to look like I'm looking in two different places. One being the ground. So she said, "We're going to do it in the office." Huh? She brought out a consent form. My dumbass signed it. She brings out these needles with lidocaine, and she starts injecting me around the eye. She's like, "You're going to feel a little pinch." Now, I have a high tolerance for pain, so I felt a little pinch. Okay.
Yeah.
It was the burn as she squeezed the lidocaine in. She did that twice. She put out the scalpel. I'm going to assume she did something. She said, "Let me know if you feel." I said, "Bitch, like what?" She's like, "I guess you feel that. We need more numbing medicine." Yes. So she then injected me again, and she relaxed the stitch and restitched it back, and told me as I was going out. That's the funny thing. I had an eye patch on. If y'all are on my social media, y'all saw the eye patch.
Yeah,
But
we saw that.
That was because that was at my request. Like she was about to pat me on the ass and just send me out into the world, into this dirty ass Philadelphia with a fresh wound on my eye and nothing covering it.
That's crazy.
And it's numb, but I'm not even thinking about, like, she prescribed a cream till I don't get an infection. I'm not even thinking about the pain I'm about to be in when this numb shit wear off. So I go to proceed to live my life.
I didn't even think about that even though. Like when this wears off, kind of like the dentist.
I go and proceed to live my life, and as I'm driving, the shit was like, bitch, bam! I was like, whew, my eye hurt. My eye burned. Oh my God.
You just had minor surgery.
Basically, I'm just like, without the anesthesia, I was just like, yo, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know why she thought I didn't need an eye patch. I'm like, I need Percocets. I literally went on like social media and was asking people for drugs. I definitely
Where
was
them
like
30s at?
Listen, I went home. I hit Tuke up like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. Like I would love to. I tried to. I was on my way. I called you. I was on my way. I said, you know what? As I broke out into like my 10th sweat between dropping these kids off at secondary and home, I said,
listen, I knew you were serious about not having to come in here because you sent me caps. You sent the text in caps. I was like, oh shit, she mean it. She's definitely not doing this today.
Really, I was
it ain't
like,
happening. So I was like, all right, shit. A quick day off. We can relax for a minute.
We definitely can relax.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going to find out some cups real quick. I'll be right back 1 second.
Yes, while you're gone, I'm going to talk about why the crazy shit has been happening and the effect that it has because of, last week was like the pre-retrograde has been happening for a couple weeks now, since like November something, but officially on December 13th, Mercury went into retrograde. So, ain't none? I might have some in my car. Oh, okay. So, Mercury went into retrograde on the 13th. So it was just like the other day. Exactly at 12:38 p.m. And people always like, a lot of people talk about Mercury retrograde. I mentioned it to somebody and they were like, well, I don't believe in that. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know. There's nothing to really believe in. Basically, Mercury retrograde is just when...
I was about to ask you that. For those who don't know, could you just give them like a little brief 1 + 1 is 2? What Nelly. It actually is, you'd be saying, what up, Nelly? What's happening?
So Mercury retrograde actually is an optical illusion. And it occurs when the planet appears to move backwards in the night sky, but in reality, the Earth just briefly overtakes it in its orbit.
Wow. Some real scientific shit right there.
It happens often, and people always talk about Mercury retrograde and the effect of Mercury retrograde, but lots of planets go in retrograde. Like, I was going through something a few months ago when Venus was in retrograde. I was like, what the heck is going on? And I looked it up. I said, oh, okay.
The naive Neanderthal me would just think like that affects all women.
Yeah,
like,
nah.
Venus,
so basically, like, all right, so Mercury in retrograde is generally seen as a time for reflection, reorganization, rekindling passions. It emphasizes the importance of communications, relationships, and self-care.
Okay.
So that's like the whole premise of, I guess, on an overall general what Mercury retrograde is. So astrologically, retrogrades are thought to interfere with the realms of the planet that they cover. So Mercury is the ruling planet of both Virgo and Gemini. And, you know, I'm a Gemini. Gemini is also the astrological sign of communication. Mercury retrograde affects communication. And I never really paid much attention, but I'm most misunderstood during retrograde. Like facts. Like people, I'll say something and somebody will take it like a way it wasn't meant to be. Or like if I've been holding on to something, I snap. I pop off. And it just come out and I just be like, oh, you can't take that back. So they say like some of the things you're supposed to do is kind of like think before you speak, write stuff down. Like don't make business deals, don't sign contracts.
Okay.
Don't enter new relationships.
Thank you, appreciate it, bro.
So there's like those are like some of the things that you're not supposed to do during retrograde, because during Mercury retrograde specifically, because those are the things that Mercury represents. So spiritually, Mercury rules the part of us that absorbs information in an instant and transmits it to others. So during retrograde, the normal flow of everything is kind of off. You know, ideas are hard to get out. Like if you're a creative, usually during retrogrades, you have a hard time finishing whatever it is you're working on.
Yeah, it's kind of like a difficult time. Your mind gets blocked.
Yeah, like, you know, people are like, oh, I had.
So that explains a lot of things for a lot of people then.
Yeah, so.
You start acting weird and shit.
And specifically Mercury, again, because it is the ruling planet. Mercury is named for the Roman god Mercury, who's the fastest god, and the Greek god Hermes, and they both were messengers. It's the first planet from the sun and the smallest in the solar system.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't have any moons, and it's only about a third the size of the Earth. It's only a little bit bigger than our moon. It's very hot, but not the hottest planet. Venus actually is the hottest planet. Which every time I like revisit these facts, because again, I'm a Gemini, so I've learned a lot about Mercury. And then there was a time in life where I was like a science geek, where I had a telescope outside. You know, I used to have a telescope. I used to have a chemistry set. I used to do shit like cut their fingernails and take and look under microscopes. So there was a time where I was really into this kind of stuff. So this is just me revisiting this information. But the god of interpreters and communication. So I was looking at something where it said like spiritually, you know, I talked about how it rules the part of us that absorbs and maintains information. And in certain spiritualities, Mercury is also the trickster god. And the scammer.
So he might be fucking with you with all this right here.
Listen, I just thought that was interesting, because whenever my friends got a scheme and the shit sound half-assed, I'm always the person to be like, nah, this is how you should do it, as if I've ever done the shit before.
You got a better scheme than their scheme.
You know, all the time.
I was opening it for you.
Okay, I appreciate that. So, you know.
I like the double cup. Feel like I'm Lil Wayne.
Okay, double cup with the Henny, because I'm going to do
like
tequila. Yes, I brought Henny for you, because I know it's probably been a minute. I bartended the party. I did really good, and I got some leftover liquor, and I'm not going to drink the Henny. So, yes, really Nelly, that explains a lot.
I don't really Henny is. I like that right there, though, man. Henny with Henny, right? Oh my God.
I mean, I'm not going to peer pressure you. I know what I'm going to drink.
I'm too single to drink some Henny right now at 5 o'clock in the evening.
Well, I think we both too single to be drinking. Period. At 5 o'clock in the evening.
Nah, I can drink a little bit of tequila. I'm gonna let me put my own troubles.
Yes, I'm probably gonna drink a lot of bit of tequila because after I have this shot, I got a Sprite. I'm gonna make me a drink. I got a lot of troubles. Mercury is in retrograde. It's a lot going on over here.
So how was your week? Your day today? It's Monday. It's Monday, the first day of the working week for everybody. How was your Monday today?
My Monday was I went to physical therapy, and that was cool. I called my regular doctor because I had another backache again, and I was like, yeah, this whole bladder thing. I had an ultrasound on my kidneys. He got the results of that back, so I'm gonna go see him Thursday. We're gonna figure out why my back is hurting. But so I just kind of like chill today because of that, because I was just like, I'm in too much pain. I had the day, I don't work on Mondays, and I didn't pick up a shift this week, so I picked up some shifts later this week. Still got some COVID hours I need to use too. So.
You got COVID hours still?
Yeah.
Goddamn, you holding on to
use
them
them or lose them by the 31st. So
use them joints.
I did the other day.
You got about 2 weeks left.
I was like, it's raining. I was like, it's raining, and yeah.
Like 2 weeks left for that shit there.
I'm gonna make it happen. Outside of that, I saw you this week. I saw you this week.
Shouts out to bro.
Nelly asked how ditch day was.
Shouts out to bro. Nate, you did it again, bro. Goddamn.
CEO Ro, what up?
Listen.
Yes, as always.
Ditch day was awesome.
Ditch day was definitely awesome.
This shit was awesome, bro. Like it was.
I got there later than usual, so I didn't get to watch the crowd build up as I normally do.
I was about to say,
I didn't get to see that. I got
build up thing.
You know, I like to be there when it's empty and then watch and be like, oh shit, where these people come from?
That build up thing is definitely real with ditch day, because it's like you. And then when you sitting up top, when you up top and you looking down, you can see the crowd start to build up.
Right.
I seen the social media bloggers, a couple of them in that joint with microphones and all this, that, and the third in there. Like it was epic. Shout out to Bow Wow. I call him Bow Wow.
Shout out to Shad.
Shad Moss.
Okay, so
shout out to Shad Moss. Listen, I was fucking astonished. I shouldn't have been astonished, but I was definitely fucking astonished the way he commanded the fucking crowd out there.
Listen,
man.
They was waiting. The bitches was waiting even at this day and time.
Without a doubt.
They was waiting for Bow Wow. Like I can't even say Lil. They was waiting for Bow Wow for sure.
Listen, I ain't gonna tell you. A couple people had like a little wager up in where we was sitting there talking about something. Ain't nobody gonna know Bow Wow songs or whatever.
Yeah, I wouldn't even took that back.
Till
they brought him out by singing his shit the minute they dropped the record.
He didn't even say a fucking word.
He didn't even say a thing. I didn't even know he was on stage. You know, I was sitting there like, duh.
He didn't even say a fucking word at first, bro. No, everybody in there knew that fucking. Y'all know the song too. Listen, I ain't even gotta say the one. Y'all know that goddamn song because y'all know the words. Y'all
the
listening.
One with Sierra.
Y'all know. Y'all know that whole joint. Y'all know that they sung every word for that joint, man. That was crazy. That's a good toast.
That's a good toast. That was a good joke.
That was a good. Hey, if y'all haven't been, y'all should go to the next one.
So that was the Ditch Day is held every quarter.
Yeah.
That. And that was the final one of the year. They always do a Holla Ditch Day, and then they kick it off again in the spring. Do it again in the summer, fall. This past summer they did 2 summer Jones.
Yes, they did.
And then they ended with Holla Ditch Day, and at this Holla Ditch Day, they announced a very special Ditch Day coming next year during 420 weekend in Atlantic City, New Jersey, where marijuana is definitely recreational legal and the boardwalk is in a green zone. They are having a Ditch Day splash party.
Oh, man.
At the Showboat.
Hey.
The whole weekend is going to be full of events. I'm
a personal trainer for all y'all who want to get in shape for Ditch Day. Y'all can holler at me. I got y'all. I'm going to be fucking ready.
Yes, there's cabanas.
Holler at me.
I don't know. It's going to be a wild time, I'm pretty sure.
I promise. Yeah, it's definitely going to be epic.
I'm pretty sure
it's definitely going to be epic. I'm looking forward to that.
The space holds, I believe, 4,000 people. So
yeah.
Nelly said she's definitely going to the spot. I'm definitely going to be there.
Yeah,
they have rooms at the Showboat. I think $59.
Getting a room, we getting a cabana and a room is a must that on that weekend. So
I think I'm gonna get my dad timeshare. I don't want to be in the same hotel as all y'all ruffian. Either I'm gonna stay next door at the Hard Rock. That's my spit.
It's gonna be a great time, man. I'm looking forward to this day for the spring joint.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even know what my work schedule is going to be, but I know that's a Friday, not a Wednesday, so it might be a little harder to get off.
Don't worry about it. We got months in advance to plan for this shit.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Like I get the days off, I be needing.
But listen, we both parents here, whatever. What you looking like for the holidays right now? What's happening? What's going on? We have it's like 7 days until this shit don't even feel like it's a holiday to me. Like right now, I see things. I see the lights up and this, that, and the third. But as I get older, the holidays get further and further away from each other for whatever reason.
That happened for me a lot sooner in life. When I was in high school and I started hanging around with a group of friends that were like really pro-black. I came out of private school. I went to school with white folks. I didn't even really identify as being black. Not that I identified as being white. I just identified as a person. Like I hadn't had
we are regular
experiences, and then I had some experiences, and then I just went full pro-black. So on that note, I don't celebrate Christmas. I have not since like actively participate in Christmas since high school. I did not raise my children celebrating Christmas, although they celebrate with their family, meaning my parents, their grandparents, my sister, their aunt, because that's really big for them, for the Christians in my family. Mm-hmm. But I do birthdays. I go big and hard for birthdays, and that's it. The day you were born, because nigga, we made it. Like, and I don't buy any Christmas gifts. I get Christmas gifts sometimes. Usually, you know.
How you want to accept the gift?
Because my mother buys me shit I need, like underwear and long johns and scarves and hats and shit. Like it ain't nothing major. Once I started having kids, I didn't get major gifts anyway.
Mom gonna make you say. Moms don't care about if you celebrate this holiday or not.
I don't celebrate Christmas. I get a Christmas gift every year from my mother at the very least. I don't buy my children gifts. We never did the Santa Claus thing. So I never indulged in that. We never had a tree. They always know they go to their Aunt Chanel's. It's a tree. It's matching pajamas. It's a good dinner. It's a spades game. It's drunk people singing and dancing. Like that part I'm with. The gift giving and the commercialism and the fucking Pollyanna for the cousin I ain't seen in 25 years, I'm cool on all that. Not a $5 gift, not a $2 gift, not a $20 gift. Like, nah, like y'all supposed to be set. Like, I go hard on birthdays. Like, I want to buy Jesus something.
Damn, shit.
You know?
The man who had everything.
Right, who wasn't even born on the 25th. Like, it's a whole lot for people who don't even believe in astrology and how that's all tied in, but I'm not even going to digress. So, I don't, you know what? I'm actually contemplating picking up Christmas Day to work because I get holiday pay, and if I work, I get time and a half. So I'm actually contemplating. I think I might not be able to because I might hit my max 7 days. But I spoke on it before. My general plan is to go to my sister's house for Christmas Eve dinner, eat kiki with the family, make sure my kids is cool, get a plate. I got me a room down AC.
Oh, that's dope.
I do a respite by myself. Again, Mercury is in retrograde. This is the time for reflection, reorganization, self-care. I do not communicate well during retrograde. I told you I'm the most misunderstood. And so, yeah, I'm going to go be by myself. It's hard for me to be by myself usually, but these little times, you know.
I wish I could have that time to be by myself like that, just to go down to I always want to do that.
My mom is a great co-parent. My mom and my uncle are a great co-parent. Outside of that, my oldest son had his dad. Yeah, I've had great co-parents. It really does take a village.
I have a dream that I want to go to a hotel room and just in the black room just sleep for like 14 hours straight.
Oh, I've done that.
You did?
How
did that feel?
So I learned this from my father years ago. My father would do stuff like say, I'm going out of town. Like, where the fuck is you going, DB? Yeah. And he would do, like, one time he called me. He was like, man, I think I need some weed. And I was like, you're out of town. He was like, yeah, I'm at the Westin on 17th and Chestnut. Like, I thought you was out of town. He was like, I live in Pensacola, New Jersey. I am out of town. So I was like,
so that's out of town for him. Right. Yeah, true.
My father taught me the importance of taking time. He has a timeshare in Atlantic City. Atlantic City is only an hour away, but it's just the importance of being able to go have a respite somewhere by yourself in an environment where you don't really have to do much cleaning up after yourself. You don't got to do the laundry. You can just kind of chill and reflect. Dream. So that is something I learned from my dad. And because I have the horrible habit of gambling sometimes, I get free rooms. And so when I have the opportunity, I will go. And I did it a couple months ago. I went down there and I was just like, you know what? I got a room. You know what? I'm gonna go. My mom.
This shit's coming handy, right?
Yeah,
like,
I was just
fucking room down AC comes
chilling.
in handy at times.
I called one of my homies that lives close. He lives in Atlantic City, but he was at a party at like one of those like a Union Hall or the VW place or whatever, and it was an old school night in like Absecon, I don't know, somewhere in South Jersey, close to Atlantic City. I went down there, and because I was there by myself, and he was like, "What you doing?" Because I was like, "I'm in your town. What you doing?" He was like, "I'm at a party. What you doing?" I was like, "I'm gonna come. Like, I'm by myself. I ain't doing shit." And I went, and it was an old school night. You know how I feel about being somewhere where all the music stopped at like 1997. So it was a good time though. Like it was a good time because the DJ was good. I saw a meme recently that my nephew Corey Towns posted, who was a DJ. It said like, imagine if there was somebody who went around reviewing DJs in clubs like Keith Lee in restaurants. And I was like, that could be me. Because I do it anyway.
You could.
Oh, I'd be at the bar and don't fuck up a transition, play the wrong song on the wrong BPM, play some shit that don't make sense.
This idea that you can be a blogger for DJs. You could be a DJ blogger.
There are DJs that I love right now that curate great parties that I remember in the beginning of their careers. I used to be like, this ain't it. I told the promoters, this ain't it. Like, boy, cool and all, but
he can't.
If he keep doing the New York transition, if he keep doing the stepping on this and that, like, he cool and all, and he is a great DJ. Like, I fucks with him heavy. Like, he be playing all my shits the right way. And not, like, for me, like, the party agrees.
Yeah.
The party agrees. That's the most important
You usually
part.
got an ear for that thing. You should blog about the DJs. You should go to them joints. You go to like local little parties or wherever it is, wherever dope DJs is at.
Yeah, I know where all the dope DJs are. I know most of them.
Yeah, true. So you can't be a blogger there because they usually hate bloggers. Like, because you got to give the.
I missed the party the other night at the Saint that Bobby Flowers was DJing. I remember when he was DJ Lean with it. He was real young. He was like, he was like a teenager, I think, when he did my first party, and he killed that joint. He used to kill all my parties, and him and Active. Now I'd be looking at them like, can I even afford y'all? Because like in 2 years I'm gonna be 50. So you're gonna
need one of them, if not both, for your 50th.
I don't even know. For my 30th, I did the house party with all my favorite DJs. Yeah. And I had the Scratch Mechanics featuring, and then DJ Jazzy Jeff. And for my 50th, I'm like, I don't know, like. I can't top
you
it.
Already set the bar here at 30.
I can't even. I don't even know if I can make those favors anymore. Like niggas is gonna be like, yeah.
And you're being modest again. Do we want to play the game that you have to call someone? Do you want to play this game?
Active said he got me.
Come on, man. You dope people. So everybody gonna be there for your joint. Yo, you dope people. So yeah, that's real.
I was at.
It's the inevitable.
I was at E's 55th birthday brunch yesterday.
Who?
Eric Frazier.
Oh yeah, I forgot E had a joint. Damn, shouts out to my old head
55, yo.
E.
Like, he kept saying that I'm double nickel. I was like, yeah, I really am the little sis haggle. No matter how old we get, I'm always gonna be the little sis. I wish I'd have known that. I'd have came to that joint. He had a really nice brunch that was thrown for him.
Let me get you a story on E. Me and Eric, right? We'll always be tied together. He used to be an old, shit, you already know. He played basketball and all that shit. So, Kearney, shouts out to Kearney. It's Sunday morning. We play at Kearney all the time and all that. So, and I was, that's my story with E. Yes, it is. I tell him that joint every time I see him. He know it was love because he was trying to do something that, it was a whole thing that day because the old heads was talking shit to us and we was young boys and he was trying to do something. But them old legs didn't hold up for him then, man. That's all that was. Shouts out to my old head.
Shouts out to E. Again, happy birthday. I had a good time at your birthday. Saw my brother Greg there.
Greg G. Shouts out to Greg G's.
Always
MacVell.
MacVell.
That's a funny motherfucker too, boy. God
can't stop, won't stop.
God damn. If y'all don't know it, man, go check MacVell out, man. God damn.
What else did we do this weekend? It's only I worked. I definitely put my time in on Plantation Piedmont this week. I had a good work week though. I had a couple of stressful moments that I actually felt like I handled well, and had passengers come up and say, "You did that good," and I didn't get in no trouble this week, like no with my time and stuff. So no,
that's good. That's good.
Good work week. Good week. My daughter's out of school already. Like she don't go back to school until next year. Her brother was like, "Where Mina last night?" I was like, "She with Yaya." He was like, "Why?" I said, "'Cause she don't have school till next year." He was like, "Why?" Because her school's better than yours, I guess. Why? Like I don't know. Well, listen, he was salty.
I got tricked. I got an email from my daughter's school, right? So I'm looking at this email. I open it up, and that joint, the first thing I seen on there, it said like a 65 in history, and it said 65. So I don't see anything else on here right. But history and 65 and Caitlin. And I'm like, hold on, I gotta call her. Matter of fact, I ain't called. Listen, I tried. All I seen was 65, and that's all I needed to see right there. I'm like, well, something going on. I waited, I got off work. I called her. I'm like, where you at, baby? She said, across the street. I said, come on across the street. Come holler at me. So she know when her dad is something on her dad's mind right now. So she come walking in, she say, what's up, Dad? So I said, what's up with you? I give it a look. I open the email. I give her the phone. She looked, she said, oh yeah, I got this one too. So I'm looking at her like, what you mean? Oh yeah, you got this one too. She said, yeah, Dad. Listen, my final grade is at 82. Look. She opened the journal. I said, nah, it say 65 right here. Something. She said, Dad, that was an assignment that I had missed and I made him up. My final grade, look, it says final grade. I was like, listen, I gave her the biggest hug ever. I had to tell her I'm sorry and everything. As I get older, I know how to apologize now for when I'm wrong. And I apologize to my kids.
I definitely apologize.
Because I want them to be able to apologize to people when they get older if they make a mistake or whatever. It's just an honest mistake. And I thought something that wasn't even that.
And I apologize to my kids just because I respect them. The other day, I was on the phone with my daughter. You know, she's 11, about to be 12. So she at that pre-teen stage. I asked her something. She was like, cuz I said, you're. I walked away from I was at work and I walked into the jet bridge. I said, you need to pipe the fuck down. Who are you raising your voice at? Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. I was like, yeah, cuz you better be. Who is you talking to right now? Man, and I know you don't be talking to my mother like this.
They get a little crazy at times. You just gotta check them.
I never on life would ever have expected to birth myself. I never wanted that.
Yo, that's yeah.
Nigga, sometimes I'll be looking at her like, oh God, just please be smarter than me. And I was pretty smart, but just please be smarter.
Speaking of birth, right? Smarter. Listen, I read this article on this girl, right? She this girl is being charged. I think she like that in North Carolina or somewhere like that. She's being charged.
Right, you said that
with
to me.
What is it? They trying to charge her with like murder of a fetus or whatever it is because she had a miscarriage. She had a miscarriage in the bathroom. So whatever was in there, whatever it was,
they trying to charge her with abuse of a corpse.
Abuse of a corpse. The fetus falls into the toilet or whatever, and I guess she tried to flush the toilet. However it went. And they locked up. She went away from it and they locked up. So now they telling it was a miscarriage. And the doctors already said the baby was already dead before it passed through her birth canal. So how can you charge this girl with anything other than having a fucking miscarriage and probably not handling it the right way?
First of all,
like, what the fuck you
I'm upset you're trying to even charge
this girl with something.
Anything,
like,
with a felony after she miscarried a baby because the trauma of already, they said she was 21 weeks and 5 days pregnant.
We got victim.
And that's when she began passing blood clots. And she hadn't even told her family that she was pregnant.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So
yeah, that's crazy.
Her water broke prematurely. The baby would not survive. The doctor told her to go to the hospital, have the labor induced so she can deliver what pretty much was an abortion at that point because she was going to deliver a non-viable fetus. Otherwise, she would face significant risk of death. These are all the records according to her case, right?
And this is the doctors. This ain't no, that's the doctors that said this shit too.
Right.
So what was she supposed to fucking do?
When all this happened before she could even make that happen, she in the bathroom and just boom, the baby started coming because again, they told her the water had already broken.
That's crazy.
Which she was only 21 weeks. And so, yeah, that's only it's 4, 8, 12, right?
God
16.
damn, yo.
She like 4 months, a little over 4 months. And
that baby wasn't ready to do anything but to die, if anything.
They wouldn't have even been able to do, like, when I went into labor with my daughter, I think I was 34 weeks exactly or something like that. 34 weeks, they said. They gave me a shot in my ass that hurt like hell. They did the same thing with my son because both my kids were premature. They wanted to make sure their lungs would be fully developed. And when I first got to the hospital, because the same thing as this woman, my water had broken and I didn't know. I'm still walking around passing out invitations to baby shower. I'm still going to work every day. They were like, you're going to be in this hospital until you give birth. Now, this was February 13th. My daughter was due April, like on my mom's birthday. She's due like April 14th.
So they was going to keep you in the hospital until then because they know if you went out, you'll be a risk to have a fucking miscarriage.
They said, you know, I'm 35 having a baby. It's a geriatric pregnancy. So they said that because
that's what they call that shit.
They said because my water already broke, so I'm already losing fluid. You can't have a dry birth. I'm gonna have to be there hooked up on fluid to help replace the fluid and just be on monitor until it would be safe to give birth to the baby. So I would be there. I'm 34 weeks. So I'm like, damn, it take 40 weeks to have a baby. So I'm gonna be in the hospital for 6 weeks. Is what y'all telling me.
Pretty much.
That's exactly what they were telling me. And then they came back and said, well, because you're exactly 34 weeks, we think that we can induce you and everything will be fine. This is what they're thinking. So I'm like, I guess. And what does that mean? They were like,
listen, we gonna get this baby up out of you before you gotta be here for 6. You don't want to be. What they tell you is you don't want to be here for 6 weeks.
So they were like, there wasn't too much they could do.
Oh, so at that point they gotta do it. They got
if I wanted to still have a viable child,
and that's what she was up against. But she was up against that at 21 weeks.
Correct.
Like that's just crazy.
That's why I brought that up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I gave birth to a healthy 4-pound, 14-ounce girl that was in the NICU for like a week and a half or so because she was only 4 pounds and she had to, at this time, you got to get like a certain weight to come home.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Wasn't nothing wrong with her lungs. She was in this little thing called an isolette, and when you pull that window down, that shit was
wow. But she had to make the weight. Oh, that was decent.
Yeah, so I don't understand why
that's
laws
just crazy
have been
though. Yeah, I've seen that. I'm like,
to change, and the reason why like they were going to end up trying to prosecute her either way is because giving birth, being induced, and giving birth in the way the doctor wrote it, like he said, was essentially an abortion. And you know they got that good old ban on abortion these days. They overturned Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, right. That was just
crazy. I saw another case on ABC News the other day. There's a woman who essentially is carrying around a baby that's not going to survive, and her state does not want to allow her to have an abortion. So I'm like, you're basically telling me I have to put myself through the trauma of either delivering a dead baby.
Is this the lady that just left Texas?
The white lady.
She left Texas to go get the abortion from somewhere else or something like that. I seen that a little bit. This is just ridiculous right now. This is stupid at this point.
Government got too
ridiculous. This
much
shit's stupid
power
at this point.
over pussy. Like that.
Yeah, like that's crazy. How can they have that power over that pussy? That's just wild.
Because we voted these yahoos in.
Yeah,
and in order to keep shit quiet about their sons that are really transgendered and their daughters that do weird shit. Yeah.
Why y'all do that?
We voted these
people. Look at this. Y'all done voted these
people. We either voted them in or we did not vote them in.
I think it was more or less that one.
I think it was a combination because there are people that are still out campaigning for Trump. He is still leading for the Republican candidate for president of the United States. A man who said that he wants to be a dictator on his first day in office. Only the first day though.
Hey, listen, I caught the Donald speech in New Hampshire. Yo, I
couldn't catch the Donald speech if somebody threw it to me from right here.
Please, you have to see the end of it because they play the music, right? And he going to like, let's say a soliloquy of things, and this shit is fucking hilarious. Yo, you got it.
Again, during retrograde, where Mercury is the ruling planet of Gemini, and that is this fool's fucking astrological sign. Dear God, I'm gonna drink to that.
Yeah, you got to. That's the Donald. It's amazing. Speaking of fucking presidential people, you see what happened to Biden? Like somebody done crashed the car into the fucking.
Yeah, got a DUI for that shit. They drunk
That's wild
ass.
as shit, yo.
Just crashed into the motorcade outside of the headquarters.
They didn't even stop. The car was fucking parked. Goddamn car parked.
Just slammed into all the cars.
But did you see Biden at the same time? They show him at the same time as happening, and he don't even realize what's going on.
He don't know what the fuck is going on.
He don't even know what's happening. He's still waving at the fucking crowd. Boy trying to put him in the car. He's still waving.
But don't nobody want to try to shoot him like they did Reagan, because don't nobody want Kamala to be president.
You better not fucking shoot goddamn Joe Biden. I swear to you.
It's going to take too much to get to the Secretary of State, because then they got to assassinate Kamala, and ain't nobody letting nothing happen to Kamala. People, let me tell you, people rally against animals, rally for animals, children, and whatever a black woman is talking about. Because I saw this thing this morning, Fantasia apparently took her son for a birthday party. She's been touring, promoting The Color Purple. So her son had a birthday. She wanted to take him and his friends. She said, "What do you want to do?" He said, "I just want to spend time with my friends and my family at a lake house." So she went on Airbnb, picked out a lake house. And what she said was she doesn't want to say it was a race issue, but she said the house was set up with it tells you to enjoy yourself. You can have people over, or didn't say that you couldn't have people over, but she only had to require the number of people that she said was going to stay there. And she said at 11:30 at night, after the kids already got in bed at 9 p.m., she got a phone call asking them to evacuate the premises because they had been watching them on Ring cameras. They were loud. They had reports that they were loud. She said she did have a game van.
For real?
She had a gaming van show up so the kids could play games because they're gamers, but the gaming van didn't even use a generator. So she don't know what was loud. She said she don't understand if it was the neighbor said something, they could have said something to her, but it's also a lake house where it's not like a row home, so it's not like next to the neighbors, and the lake is across the street. So
where the fuck was this?
And she said she did have a diverse group of kids. I mean, I saw at least one little white boy, and I saw a couple girls and her son in North Carolina. You know,
yeah, it's Fantasia. I'm lives in North Carolina. It's a fucking diverse bunch of kids. So I'm Fantasia.
I'm not shocked that racism happened in North Carolina.
Damn,
but
that's fucked up.
I bring it up because, like I said, people rally for black women because on her Instagram where she posted all this information and on the Shade Room where they posted it and Hollywood Unlocked, you know, everybody was like at Fantasia, at Airbnb, what you gonna do? She was like, drop the name of the
goddamn,
like fuck Airbnb. I want to know who the host is, so we can have their shit empty high season and low season.
The
I was just
internet is vicious.
Yeah, listen, the internet causes people to lose their jobs. Like
it causes people to lose their life, fuck their job. They can have motherfuckers lose their life.
I mean, this is what the world has wanted.
Y'all some vicious motherfuckers on the internet, man.
We as humans are a salacious people. We want to, we need that. Case in point, I have a good friend. I ain't gonna say her name, but she's always on this app called Bigo, Bigo. Now
you know who you are.
She definitely know who she is.
You know who you are.
And she's always on Bigo. And so last night we were on the phone and I called her back. I forgot why. Whatever. We got off the phone. I called her back and she just sent me the link to Bigo. They about to fight. So I clicked the link. Not only did I click the link, I downloaded the app. So now I'm in this chat room where it's these girls. They in Philly.
You on your way down the rabbit hole.
I'm down on my way, nigga. People in the chat like, hey, I rise Earth. I'm like, whoa. How do I be here on an anonymous joint? Like you get beans and points and it's crazy, but like
what
these people all they do all day is talk shit to each other, and sometimes they end up pulling up on each other for fights. And I was just like, so she hit me at some point. She was like, "You still watching it?" I was like, "I can't. There's too much going on. Too many people talking. Too much yelling. They outside this girl house. She never came outside to fight because she like, I'm just in here with my kids, and you came out here with 4 people. But they was like, you threatened to shoot her. So why would you not think she come with her people?"
And even if you come to my house with your people, now you come to my house with your people.
First of all, you come to my house.
Depending on what state, depending on what state we in, you come to my house with your people. I can blow your fucking head off. Why you on my property?
You have to literally be on the property.
Why you on my? Depending on what state. If you on my, listen,
Pennsylvania is such a fucking gray area and thin line. Like you have to know, and you can't just be shooting somebody because they're on your property. They have to be doing something, and you have to fear for your life. Because the cop that trained me when I took my handgun class, he said, listen, this is what I want you to do if it ever happens. Dial 911, put the phone down, make sure you say these things. I fear for my life. Stop, what are you doing? Don't come any closer. He said that's the only 3 things that's going to justify you shooting somebody, like for factual action.
Hey, y'all, take that down, man. That was great information right there. She just gave y'all.
Told me that when I was going to take my classes.
Please believe I'm
handgun
doing this
safety classes. Yeah, he was like, you have to say, stop. What are you doing? Don't come any closer.
I'm gonna say it forceful too.
You're scaring me. I fear for my life. That's the biggest thing, because you have to really be in fear of your life.
And right after that,
you have to be able to prove that. And sometimes it's hard to prove that, like when you're just under the gun and you're just naturally scared.
That's why
you might not be afraid for your life, but you definitely may be scared. But somebody pull a gun on you, you're definitely scared for your life.
You better be. Shit.
So, you know.
Give it up. Don't be a hero. Get that shit the fuck up. Don't be no goddamn hero.
I've been stuck up one time in my life at the corner of 10th and Oxford.
Ooh.
In front of my girlfriend's grandmother's house, on my way to my best friend Samai's crib.
I know that corner.
Yes, in 1990. Come on. 96 maybe, it might have been 95. I think it was 96 though.
That was around the time I got stuck up.
The only thing these stupid motherfuckers didn't even get the cash I had on me, because they didn't ask me to run my pockets. They didn't run my pockets, but they took my book bag, and my dumb ass and my cynical ass. I was like, my book bag though, but I was really hurt by it. First of all, it was a dope ass JanSport crossbody, purple with the little Indian print and the suede leather.
That's what I'm talking about. You felt some type of way about this fucking book bag.
Yes, because also in it was a fucking dictionary that my high school teacher, Mr. Rubinsky, gave me.
Shouts out to Mr. Rubinsky, wherever you at, Rubinsky.
And my first book of life. I told you I'm a 5%, and my first book of life was in there with my lessons. So they took my book bag, and I had a bag, a fucking Whole Foods bag that had a pot of bell pepper soup in it, because at this point, me and my sisters would get together on Sundays. We would have our little earth classes, and we were trying to, study and learn things, and we were doing cooking. Yeah. And so my contribution that week was a bell pepper soup. I remember I roasted the peppers, I peeled the peppers, I put them in a puree, I put the shit in the pot, I seasoned that shit up. Yes, I brought bell pepper soup. Yeah, I like that. Homemade bell pepper soup. And these motherfuckers, they didn't steal the soup, but they fucking stole my book bag, and I was upset. So it was Sunday. So I remember, dude, like, get that shit up. And the first thing I said is, so all 3 of y'all need a gun to rob little old me? Oh, you a smart bitch.
You got a smart ass
You a smart
mouth
bitch. I was like, I said,
you're brave.
I said, I don't know if I'm smart talking shit to a nigga with a gun, but what I do know is I did graduate near the top of my class.
Oh man, you really didn't see color back then.
No, I was just mad as shit that I was being stuck up pretty much in my neighborhood. Not my neighborhood, but this is a place that I come all the time. Like, I was literally riding my 12-speed bike to 10th and Oxford all the time in the years prior to this. And I was going there hanging out with my brothers, Dakim and Supreme and Justice and Divine Freedom, I was up there. So I was really offended that I was being stuck up right here in front of my sister's grandmother's house. So I was mad, but my money was in, I don't know why. This is the first time. Usually I keep my money in my back pocket. Yeah. For whatever reason, I had it in this little lighter pocket.
Oh, lucky you!
So they didn't run my pockets, but they just took my bag because they assumed everything was in my bag, and they told me I was a smart ass bitch and keep walking for somebody to shoot me. And I was like, "Oh, so you willing to go to jail for shooting me? Like, that's kind of crazy. It's Sunday afternoon. Why y'all niggas ain't in the house watching football some fucking where?" I just remember being so fucking mad. I went in the house with my sisters, and I was telling them what happened, and I was heated, and I was telling them all the shit I was saying, and they looking at me like, "Bitches, you crazy?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just mad." And all I kept thinking is, because we were having classes leading up this, and we were talking about self-defense, and we were all talking about buying a gun, and all I kept thinking is, if I had a fucking gun, they would have took that too, because I wasn't about to pull out a gun on 3 niggas with guns to rob little old me carrying a fucking pot of soup in a book bag.
Did they take the soup?
No, they left me with the soup, but they took my whole book bag. It had my dictionary in it that Mr. Rube gave me. It had my first set of lessons. Because I remember I kept saying, ain't nothing in my fucking bag but knowledge, and I hope it do y'all stupid niggas some good. I was mad as shit.
You was like the smart chick off the movies and shit. Which when you guys,
because I was scared, but I wasn't really scared because I wasn't really scared because it's 3 niggas with 3 guns. Now I'm popping so much shit. Either the guns ain't real.
That didn't even make sense. But it makes sense
because
to you.
Either the guns ain't real, or y'all niggas is just as scared that you're not going to shoot me and run the risk of going to jail over fucking with the bitch with the smart ass mouth who's looking all y'all in the face right now.
You're brave. You're very
stupid
brave.
Motherfuckers.
You was either incredibly brave
or incredibly stupid.
And either way,
at the time,
you made it out of that situation.
There's an old saying: "The Lord watches over babies and fools." Now, I don't know which one I am, but I've looked over. I guess
you were far removed from a bottle or a titty at that time. So,
I mean, it should be happening to me today, and I'd be like, "Who, babies and fools?"
That's crazy. I got stuck up like that before.
How did I get out of that?
At 10th and, what's that, 10th and Cumberland. Remember the Chinese store right there on the corner at 10th and Cumberland?
Yeah,
right there on the bench. That shit's still right there, right?
They still got fucking good chicken on the stick, but I don't know if it's really chicken.
I ain't fucking, I never been in this store ever again. This probably was like a 95. I'm fresh. Listen, I know exactly what I had, a yellow beeper back then. I had got a yellow, remember the colorful beeper joints? I had a yellow beeper and shit. So, I just come home. I think I came home from like St. Gabe's or some shit. So it's like my first summer home and shit. I'll go see my cousin who live on Arizona Street. I walk from his house to go order me some Chinese food at 10th Street. I walk down there by myself. I ain't thinking about nothing. They had a video game in there. I already ordered my food.
So
I
you
paid for my
game.
food. So I'm playing the fucking video game. As I'm playing the video game, motherfucker come up behind me. Like over me. So I feel the person behind me and I look to my left. There's a little nigga right there with the gun. He tapped the video game. He say, "Hey, you know what it is." So I look at him and I'm like, this nigga like little, so I can probably like.
Imagine a nigga behind you.
At the same time, I'm looking at him. This nigga is in my pockets. Yeah, behind me.
For sure.
He is definitely in my pockets. He took my beeper.
Can we switch seats? What the?
Why we gotta switch seats?
Go ahead with the story. I just noticed my sister. Can y'all switch seats?
He take my beeper. He take my beeper. He take my money. He take everything out of my pocket. But my food already paid for. So I turn around and look at the Chinese lady. I look at her like, God damn, you ain't gonna say nothing.
Like, bitch, ain't dialed 911 yet? Nothing?
She looked at me and gave me my motherfucking food. It was like, go ahead. So I go down there to my cousin's house and I'm calm. At this point, I can't do nothing about it, and this is my mentality. Once something happened, I can be mad at it for a period of time, but you can't do shit about it. I'm not gonna fucking sit here and keep dwelling on this shit to fucking ruin my day. So as I'm walking down, I was mad and then got to my cousin's house. I ain't mad no more. So I tell him, I said, yo, I just got robbed at the Chinese store. Kind of like that. He said, nigga, you lying. I said, cuz, I just got robbed at the Chinese store. He said, nah, you lying. I said, look, I don't have my beeper no more. And he started cracking up. And that's when he knew. I ain't had that yellow beeper. That was my joint. I just got that yellow beeper. I had that yellow beeper for like 4 days. I was the shit with that joint. Yeah, that was my robbery story. I got stuck up, man. That was crazy back in the day. So yours was 96. Mine was 95. They took my beeper off my hip,
but and I had a fucking brick ass cell phone that was in the bag. They took that shit, but I was just like, I was really mad about that. I've never been robbed again, but when I was in Amsterdam, this motherfucker tried to rob me, and it was so funny because I whooped his ass on the streets of Amsterdam, and it was to the point the cop came over and was like to him, "Are you okay?" He wasn't even worried because I'm walking, So this is one of the times I went with Jeff. I took K-Roo with me, Fredo. I took him with me. Mm-hmm. So me and my brothers in Amsterdam. Everybody at the hotel. This is his first international trip.
Yeah.
He tired, so he at the hotel, and I'm like, look, I'm about to go to the store, to the coffee shop down the street. I'm about to get some shit. In my mind, I'm coming back with mushrooms. I'm coming back with weed. You got
everything.
Like, I got the shit to make my brother relax, have a good time. I'm telling him about how the last time we was in Amsterdam, we all took shrooms and was tripping at a fucking live sex show. I'm telling him like how like the country is beautiful, the city is amazing, and how I'm gonna show him a good time in between us going to the shows with Jeff.
Yeah.
So I'll go to by myself. It's only a couple blocks away. I'm going to the fucking coffee shop. Or actually, it was a coffee shop. Yeah, it was a coffee shop, but they sold like weed products. They sold mushrooms too. And they sold like all kinds of shit. So I'm walking, and this guy comes. He looks like he's Italian. Oh, pretty lady. Hey, where are you from? First thing he does is put his arm around my neck. Now, first of all, I don't like to be touched.
You don't do the touching
I'm
thing
super
that well
affectionate
like that,
when I'm affectionate.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I really don't like to be touched. Like, especially by a fucking stranger, and especially by a white person. What the fuck is your angle? So I'm like, hey, yeah.
That's a double.
Oh, beautiful lady. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. He's like, oh, where you going? So I tell him where I'm going. Like, you know, it's Amsterdam. Like, ain't no real crime in Amsterdam. It's literally beat cops out on the street. I'm looking at them.
Them niggas don't even got guns.
So as we're walking, now, again, I said earlier in our show that I put my, she used to sit and vice versa, but that's because usually we have somebody else there. Man, shut up. So normally, like I told y'all earlier,
we love you, Poozy.
I keep money in my back pocket. Why? Because I can sit on it. It's most protected that way. I don't have enough up here to be sticking it the way most of my friends do.
All right.
I don't keep it in my front pocket. I just started carrying purses. I'm not very good with that. So I even still don't keep money in my purse.
So my fucking niggas said I'm not very good with the purses thing here.
I ain't good with the bags.
Put this shit in the back pocket.
So I will put a WAP in the back pocket. So this motherfucker's walking, pretty lady, where you going? So he keep doing this. And as he's doing this, now I feel something bumping me because he done fucked up. He trying to do this in the front pocket. I said, "Ho, what you doing?" No, you misunderstand me. I'm not doing nothing. I'm trying to walk with you.
Yo.
First of all, I don't like to be touched. I told him, I said, I don't like to be touched. Like, I'm like Rain Man out this motherfucker. Like, don't do that. Like, I don't know if I'm on the spectrum. I don't know what the fuck is because my mother never told me she loved me enough when I was young. I don't fucking know.
But nigga,
I don't like to be touched. Like, it's awkward for my own kids to hug me sometimes. I really don't like to be touched. It's weird.
You're different.
I'm different.
Yeah.
So now I'm pissed. And he's still trying to talk to me with this accent, and you got this flowing black hair. I stepped back 2 steps. He said no again, and I just two-pieced him. I couldn't take it no more.
You punched this man in his face in Amsterdam?
Twice. And now the cops is coming over, right?
Holy shit. You got an assault charge in Amsterdam?
No, I didn't get an assault charge because when the cop came over, he asked him, are you okay? And I was like, no, this motherfucker tried to rob me. He was like, no, misunderstanding. I'm being nice to the American. I said, let me tell you something. I'm from North Philadelphia.
That whole lot
I
of
know
weight
when a motherfucker is trying to rob me. I said, officer, I don't know this man. I don't like to be touched. He put his arm around me like this. He put this hand like that. I stepped back and two-pieced him.
No
the cop was like, it's cool. So now I go into the store. I'm mad as shit. I'm buying all kinds of drugs at this point because I got to calm the fuck down. I go back to the hotel room and now I'm trying to calm down because you went by yourself. You travel with a bunch of men and this is going to be, not only do you travel with a bunch of men, you are responsible for these men. So it does not look good if you come back telling them you got robbed on the streets of Amsterdam or somebody tried to rob and you assaulted a motherfucker. So I'm trying to be calm. But everybody knows something wrong with iRise. You good? I'm good. You sure? Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
What happened when you went outside? Different. I don't know. This motherfucker tried to rob me. What?
Now you about to get everybody coming outside looking for the motherfucker trying to rob you.
I was like, no, it's cool. I two-pieced him. The cops came. They let me go because they saw the whole thing. It's good. They was like, yo. So somebody tried to rob you. You got into a fight with a nigga on the street.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
I got a fight with a bitch. Some fucking Fabio ass nigga. He had shoulder length brown hair. That's what's throwing me off on top of that. Like, I really, like you had no chance. So after that, I was told to not go anywhere by myself.
Yeah, you shouldn't have did that anyway. That was just a bad move.
I was always used to go in places by myself. I
understand North Philly. You carry that North Philly weight with you. So therefore, you try to travel like. But in different countries, you gotta travel. You gotta be a duet.
I'm just saying.
You gotta go with somebody.
It was my job to be responsible, and I was being responsible. I couldn't help it that somebody. You know what I'm saying? So those are my attack stories, and bringing it all full circle.
Let's go.
It happened during Mercury retrograde.
This Mercury retrograde thing always plays a part in your some of your bad decisions.
When Mercury is in micro braids and Gatorade is in the microwave, shit be all fucked up. That's all I'm saying.
And Gatorade is in the microwave. You're right.
And Mercury is in microwave.
It's definitely all be fucked up.
It should be fucked up.
Yo,
like
you is
for
fucking
instance,
bananas.
Jalen Hurts. What's the word on my man's for tonight? Like for instance, tonight. Like I know it don't matter. They clinched the spot.
Hey, listen. Shouts out to the fucking Buffalo Bills for beating the shit out of the Dallas Cowboys. I appreciate that on every level, because I remember when the Dallas Cowboys beat the shit out of y'all 30 years ago for the Super Bowl. So y'all finally got some revenge, and I appreciate that. But back on to the fucking Philadelphia Eagles tonight. Tonight, y'all do know Jalen Hurts got the
he
got
popped
COVID,
up as
right?
a DNP on the injury report.
Y'all know he got COVID though, right? I just want y'all to know that shit. They would have been told y'all if he had the flu, but he had COVID, and they didn't want to put that nigga in COVID protocol. That's just my theory. Don't fucking quote me on that shit.
When I was at physical therapy today, shout out to Baju. Baju, who's been saying since last week, we always lose to the Seahawks. So, especially in Seattle. So he was like, the Eagles is going to lose. So last week I was like, you got to have faith.
That's what
Baju
said.
The city's on the high. So then I went there today for therapy. I said, hey, Baju, with Hurts being on the DNP list and Slade just coming out of surgery, what you think? He was like, I told you, we're going to lose.
Baju said that shit.
And Baju is a diehard Eagles fan.
Hey, Baju, I see you next week with this fucking negative energy you done put out and everything into the atmosphere, man. Cut it the fuck out. This is a battle of backup quarterbacks.
The battle of the backup quarterbacks.
So all we need to do, what's my man, Soriano?
Yeah, but Soriano has had 7.
Run that fucking ball with Swift, bro. Stop playing. Run that fucking ball. Stop playing.
That's what
Don't do that. Shouts out to my man, Seth. Seth, if you run that fucking ball, my man Seth be mad as shit, man. I watched him go through an emotional roller coaster with the fucking Eagles game, bro. I watched this nigga go like his high of highs, his low of lows, almost crying, like everything.
Wait. Oh, shit, because I see breaking news.
Breaking news.
I sent you the breaking news, and I knew it was. I almost forgot.
My man.
So, breaking news: Marvel has fired Jonathan Majors after the assault and harassment conviction.
He fucked that whole bag up.
I be telling y'all niggas stop fucking with these white bitches. I be telling y'all stop fucking with these white bitches. Up. Anyway,
y'all fucked that whole bag up.
The breaking news I sent you was that he had been convicted of assault and harassment, but he was not convicted of other charges.
You fucked that bag up, bro.
Yo, you can't fuck up the Marvel money.
And
Loki was my shit. Who is going to be he who?
Hey, listen, Marvel, holla at me, man. I can do that shit.
So, just to catch y'all up, in case y'all don't know, real quick in the next last 2 minutes.
Damn.
The Manhattan Criminal Court found Marvel star Jonathan Majors guilty of 1 count of assault, 1 count of harassment, but they acquitted him of another count of assault and 1 count of aggravated harassment in court. All in connection with the alleged attacks on his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. Now, I love how he was convicted and they still saying alleged attacks. We about to go, and we're going to see y'all next week, but I'm just saying. It's not even Roy Rage. This is a black man dealing with black Hollywood, looking the way that he looked, not probably traditionally desirable by his black peers, so he thinks. So he has this woman bigging him up, and then she fucking... They were fighting each other a lot of the times, and I ain't saying it's right.
Listen, my man.
I ain't saying it's right, but I'm just saying y'all motherfuckers need to stay at home and y'all be all right.
My man was on testosterone or TRT to fucking get that role for Creed.
They say he
didn't get that fucking big.
I mean,
they can say that shit all they want. I fucking bodybuild. I'm a trainer, bro. He was definitely on something to get that big that fast. You don't build that muscle like that. So therefore, I think
the jury said that he fucked up when he hurt her. Defending himself, which is why he was acquitted of some of the charges. Because, like I said, they beat on each other.
Yeah, and you got too big, too strong. You couldn't throw it around like when you played in the hard. What's that?
All I'm saying is y'all motherfuckers stay at home.
Listen, you get too and if you get too big, you can't play the same way with your fucking baby no more.
We will see y'all next week. To play some music.
Dude, take us the fuck out of here.
Mercury is in retrograde.
Jonathan Majors fucked that bag up bad, bro.
Fuck the bag up
bad. You just got on it. I'm telling you.
Damn, Mario.
Yeah, you ain't like me. The hand-to-hand sales mate.